Ali Sultan Ali Al Harfi from Oman. I come to India to do the operation for neck. Before I can walk, I can control also. So when I come here in SPARSH Hospital, Dr. Naveen do the operation. Alhamdulillah, now good.
Hi, I am Dr. Naveen Tahasildar, spine surgeon at SPARSH Hospital, Infantry Road. Today I am going to discuss about a patient who came from overseas, a very interesting problem with which he came here. Mr. Ali was operated in Oman because of a problem called cervical myelopathy, which means there is a pressure on the spinal cord in the area of the neck. The spinal cord basically you can consider as a thick cable of wires that runs from the brain all the way down in the spine, and this thick cable of wires carries the nerves which go to the hands, and then lower down they go down to the legs. So the spinal cord has this function of relaying the signals from the skin, from the periphery to the brain, and it also carries some signals from the brain down to the periphery so that you can move your hand, you can move your feet. So that's the function of the spinal cord. So Ali had been having these symptoms of cervical myelopathy, and he consulted a local doctor at Oman, and he was advised for a surgery, and that's exactly the line of management. But unfortunately he had a problem after the surgery that the screws wouldn't stay in place, and the screws started to pinch on the nerves, and because of this he had to be reoperated after 10 days after the first surgery. And after this surgery, although the tingling, the pinching of the nerves reduced, and he also had some amount of recovery in his spinal cord function, eventually by the first month and the second month he started to have problems again. He started to have worsening of the spinal cord function, and on the top of that there was one more problem which came up this time, that his neck started to bend and he almost got into a position where he cannot lift up his chin comfortably and look up to see in the front. So that was a unique problem that came up, and this particular situation is called a post-laminectomy kyphosis, which means after removing the pressure on the spinal cord, the bony pillars in the spine which can keep the spine upright are taken away, and slowly, because the pillars have been removed, the spine as a column, like a building, starts to collapse, and that's exactly what was happening in Ali.
My name is Yahya Al Harfi. I come from Oman to India to sit with my brother Ali. He has a problem in his neck, and he made the operation in SPARSH Hospital. Now he feel better, he feel good, and the doctor he told us maybe the 3 weeks coming he will be more than this time healthy.
So Ali came to us with this post-laminectomy kyphosis and worsening of the spinal cord function, and we evaluated him thoroughly, and we understood that he would need an extensive procedure to basically treat the post-laminectomy kyphosis and at the same time address the worsening spinal cord function also. So this we planned by doing a posterior, which means going from the back, a surgery from the back posterior, and a surgery going from the front. The purpose of doing both these surgeries is that you go from the back and try to create a construct with the screws and rod so that you can get the head back into a neutral position like that from the back, and then you go in the front and reinforce the construct that you have done from the back. You put some cage from the front to reinforce this construct. So you basically are making this construct strong from a 360-degree perspective, not just from the back, which is you can call 180-degree or 270-degree kind of an approach. So this is a 360-degree approach, and this was planned, and this was not going to be easy because he had already been operated once, and we were going through a scar tissue. And at SPARSH we have a wonderful team of the neurosurgeon Dr. Arvind Bateja and myself, who's an orthopedic spine surgeon. We both got along, and we have a beautiful infrastructure here which is called an O-arm, which is an intraoperative CT scan. The intraoperative CT scan basically takes one CT scan inside the operation theatre, and based on this CT scan we can navigate and put the screws very safely. Even in the place where it has already been operated and don't have the intraoperative CT, it's very difficult to navigate these screws and put some strong screws. So we did this procedure called as a pedicle screw fixation of the cervical spine with the assistance of the O arm and a real-time navigation. So we could achieve a good construct posteriorly. We put cervical pedicle screws from the C2, which is almost like the top, up to the T1, which is like the thoracic spine. So we got a C2 to S1 construct from the back, and this was done previous. On the next day, we staged it, and when on the next day morning, we went ahead and did an anterior procedure, which we went in from the front, from here, the left side, and we did a C3-4, C4-5, C5-6 anterior cervical discectomy and fusion, which means that you put some cages from the front and reinforce the construct that we have done from the back. Both these procedures went very well, and we also had an intraoperative neuromonitoring, which means we were constantly monitoring his spinal cord function during the surgery. This increases the safety to another notch higher. And during the neuromonitoring, we actually noticed that the spinal cord function, which was not so good before the surgery, in fact started improving during the surgery itself. His signals improved quite a bit during the surgery. And after this anterior and posterior procedure, Ali took about 3 to 4 days. He was kept in the ICU for a day. It took 3 to 4 days, and he has definitely made a remarkable recovery, and you can see he's walking very comfortably now. And if you compare the kind of walk that he had previously just before the surgery and the kind of walk that he has now,
we find in this hospital very good services. Also, Ahmed, he helped us too much in everything. Thank you, Dr. Naveen and SPARSH Hospital, Infantry Road.
He's definitely become upright. His chin has moved up, and his spinal cord functions have improved. His imbalance has improved considerably. And there is still some distance to travel for Ali, because the fusion process is complete only by the end of 3 months. And we are very hopeful that this construct should stand the test of time, and his spinal cord function should constantly improve. And the lessons that are here is that we all should understand what is cervical myelopathy, and also it's important to understand what kind of procedures for these kind of conditions, and these patients, if operated with the right infrastructure, with the right expertise, can get a very good outcome. I'm very happy for Ali, and I wish him all the best. Thank you.
And about somebody need to come here, name Ahmed, translator Ahmed, and from Oman to